Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Breakfast Club edition of Around for the Weekend. I'm your host, Ryan McCarthy. Thank you for joining me. As always, we are powered by Belly Up Sports, and this is going to be a fun edition of the show today. I'm going to do some summary of the week of sports, living that bubble life in basketball and in hockey. I'm going to do a special breakfast food power rankings because I'm a fat guy and I love me some breakfast food. So I'm going to do some special power rankings for breakfast foods. And I'll do a shout out to our partnership with Prop Me. So let's go ahead and get started with our local beer of the week, coffee, because it's 10:30 in the morning. But I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite restaurants here in Boston Spa, New York. It's called the Iron Roost, run by my good friend Linnea. She had a concept of building a bistro around waffles and they've been in the area for about 8 years. So I've been going there since they opened because they make really awesome food. They have awesome coffee. Any breakfast place that has really good coffee, I'm going to be loyal to you. So they got great coffee. They got excellent food, waffles. If you're in the Saratoga area ever, before you go to the track, especially during track season, unfortunately right now because of the Rona, we can't have track we can have fans that stands at the track in Saratoga. So it's you just got to make do with what you have. So, but if you're ever in the Saratoga area, they're still busy anyway. So if you're in the Saratoga area during the summertime or in the wintertime for when Chatterfest comes around, go to the Iron Roots for breakfast. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. So shout out to Linnea, and I'll have myself a sip of coffee because it's 10:30 in the morning. I'm not drinking beer at 10:30 in the morning unless it's St. Patrick's Day. And today is not St. Patrick's Day. Today is August 8th. 8th. So cheers to you. Here's to the Breakfast Club. Thanks for joining me at 10:30 a.m. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, thank you for joining. I really do appreciate it. So cheers to you. Here's to the weekend. Let's get energized. Ooh, that's a good cup of coffee. All right. So topic of this week, living that bubble life. And last weekend, the NBA and the NHL started their seasons up again. The NBA is playing at Walt Disney World in Orlando, while the NHL has two locations. They have Toronto in the east, I should say Toronto in the east, and Edmonton in the west. So the qualifiers, the round robins, they're happening this week. They've been happening this week. And yesterday in the NHL was Elimination Friday. And we saw a few teams get knocked off. One of them was surprisingly the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were shut out in Game 4 of their qualification series against Montreal. Carey Price went to town and decided to shut out the high-powered Pittsburgh Penguins with Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. So that's a pretty good spoiler. Also in the West, you had Chicago eking out Edmonton. They move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So very, very. It's an interesting playoff. You had two upsets in the East. You had the upsets of the 5 seeds in the East and the West. Arizona moved on. The Islanders moved on. I believe Vancouver moved on. So as a New Jersey Devils fan, I'm happy because the New Jersey Devils. They're getting the first round picks of Arizona and Tampa Bay. So they're getting the first round picks. They got the 7th, the 13th, and the 20th, I believe, right now, depending on how Arizona, Arizona and Tampa Bay wind up in the Stanley Cup playoffs. If they get eliminated in the first round, that means a higher pick. If they go farther, that means a lower pick, which is fine because the Devils need to improve in certain areas, one of them being defense. So I'm happy about that as a Devils fan. They also might get Carolina's first round pick too, so you can see four first round picks coming up for the Devils in the NHL draft. So I'm super excited about that. NBA, I haven't been paying too much attention to, but I will say this. I finally decided who to follow for the NBA bubble playoff. And on the poll on the Twitter, it came down to a tie between the Raptors and the Nuggets, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, do I really want to do a coin toss? Really, a coin toss? But I heard about this kid on the Hardcore Honeys podcast. A shout out again to Jade and Taylor. I heard about this kid named Bol, who I guess is the son of Manute Bol, and I guess he plays the game with a lot of joy and intensity and passion. So I said to myself, all right, I got me some Bol fever, so I'm gonna follow the Nuggets and I'm new to their fan base, so I don't know if I'm allowed to call them the Nuggets or the Nuggies or the Nugs. Help me out, guys. I really don't know what to call them other than the Nuggets. I think I used to call them the Nugs. I'm a big fan of chicken nuggets too. So hey, I'm happy to announce that I'm rooting for the Denver Nuggets this playoff. So it's really, really cool. It's I guess I got me some catching up to do and with finding out who plays for the Nuggets other than Bol, and rooting for these guys. These guys I believe they're the third seed in the NBA West right now. So here's to hoping that they go far and they don't flame out in the first round of the playoffs. We'll see what happens. All right. I got some comments already, so I'm going to check those out real quick. Oh, Houston says good morning. Good morning, Houston. Houston is one of our fantasy football nerds. Again, I can say that because I'm a fantasy football nerd myself. So excuse me 1 second here. Come on, say hi to everybody. Come on. All right. So my little buddy tag along says welcome. Says good morning to everyone. He was outside the door meowing, but he wants to say hi. So all right, off he goes, scuttlebutt. Now he's got his butt in my face. All right. So anyway, Houston, belly up, Houston. Houston Wenzel, he says good morning. So good morning to you. Good morning to you, Houston. He's one of our fantasy football guys, along with Chris Pinto and Tom B. Check them out. They have a fantasy show every once in a while. You'll find out who's the best fantasy football guy to grab for each position and each conference. And they also write some really good stuff too. So Houston is involved. Kevin Wilson, he's involved. A lot of different guys who are helping out with the fantasy side. They do an excellent job. I encourage you to check them out. They're at bellyupfantasy.com, I believe. So Belly Up Fantasy, you also see on the main page of bellyup.com. And you can just go to fantasy and it's right there. Actually, you can probably bring it up right now. So let's go take a look here. Belly Up Fantasy. Fantasy Sports. I'll share. There you go. BellyUpFantasySports.com, y'all. And there is. And of course, Ryan Hicks is another one of our fantasy guys. He's a very good fantasy writer. He has a couple columns right now for the Eagles and the Cowboys and who to pick. We have fantasy baseball too. So because baseball's back, you got fantasy baseball. So go ahead and look at yourself some fantasy baseball. There's a weekend roundup for them. And there it is. And there's an article by Kevin Wilson. He wrote a weekly column about fantasy baseball and actually the Miami Marlins. Kevin, just want to give you a heads up. It's the Miami Marlins now. So, all right. So you get the gist. Fantasy baseball, fantasy football. So bellyupfantasysports.com. You check them out. Always love tuning in. Thanks, Houston. Appreciate it. All right. So again, we'll do something fun for our Power Rankings. And then I just want to give you a heads up too. I'm currently wearing this jersey from the Las Vegas Posse because, as I have mentioned before, ad nauseum, I'm a big football fan. I love the Arena League. I love the NFL, college, FCS, Division II, Division III. I'll follow them all, even the CFL. So I'm wearing a jersey that I got from, hopefully we'll have them as a partner soon, 503 Sports. They're based out of Portland, and they made retro CFL jerseys. And this one's from the Las Vegas Posse, which is one of the teams that was, it was an American team when the CFL tried to expand into the United States back in the mid 90s. And the Las Vegas Posse was one of those teams. And one of those players just happened to be Anthony Calvillo, who eventually went to Hamilton and then was traded to the Montreal Alouettes and had one of the most stellar careers of any CFL football player ever as a quarterback. So I got a replica jersey made by 503 Sports. Hopefully I can do it. I'm going to try to do an unboxing with those guys too. Just do an unboxing episode with I get something from 503 Sports, maybe a t-shirt, maybe a hat, maybe another jersey. We'll see. And do an unboxing with one of those products. So yeah, number 13 in your hearts, number 13 in the field, number 1 in your hearts. That's Anthony Calvillo. Great quarterback. All right, so moving on. Sorry to get off on tangents there. So I decided, because I'm a husky dude. I love food. I love breakfast food especially. I'm going to do some breakfast food power rankings, and I want to hear I want to see what you have to say about breakfast foods. So I'm going to do my 5 power rankings, my top 5 breakfast food power rankings from 5 to 1. And I'm going to go ahead and start with number 5. This may surprise a lot of people. Coffee cake. I love me some coffee cake. When I was a kid, my parents used to get, my mom, when shopping, she used to get Entenmann's coffee cake. And is the French coffee cake, and that stuff that was gone within a day, because my brothers and I, my dad, we would, as soon as mom bought it, we got in the house, it was gone. It was demolished within a span of a day or two. But it had a great coffee cake. I found a really cool recipe for YouTube chef named Cowboy Kent Rollins, and he made this banana bread coffee cake. Oh, so I made it myself. It was delightful. So coffee cake is my top 5 at number 5. And if it's just, not during the day, if you have it for breakfast, have it with your breakfast. I used to sit with my grandparents also when my parents came out from New Jersey, and we would have breakfast together before they left. Mom would put out, again, a coffee cake, a cup of coffee, or a glass of cranberry juice, because my grandparents used to drink cranberry juice like it was no tomorrow. And we just sat, and that's probably what it was. It just brought back, having coffee cake in my time as number 5 just brought back memories, because I had really good memories of sitting with my grandparents, with Nan and Pop, sitting at the breakfast table before they leave for go back to New Jersey, and just saying our goodbyes, saying our, catching up on life. And it just, I've lost both grandparents since then. So Pop died in 2009, and Nana passed away in 2011. But I'll always have those memories of sitting at the table and having a coffee cake with them, just sharing, just catching up, just sharing the day, what we're going to do for the day, if we're going to school, if we're going to work, just having some coffee cake together. And just before they left for New Jersey, went back to New Jersey, and Pop would go back to work, and Pop worked till he was 87 years old. So he had that work ethic that I really appreciate, and I try to model for myself. All right, number 4. So number 5 is for myself. Again, my award is not God. Thank you, thank the Lord, because everybody's breakfast foods varies. Everybody loves different breakfast foods. So coffee cake is my number 5. Number 4, Frosted Flakes. And you're probably surprised. You're going, what? Frosted Flakes? Why are Frosted Flakes in your top 5? Because Frosted Flakes are always going to be in my top 5 for breakfast cereals. I love Frosted Flakes when I was a kid. Of course, being a little husky now, I don't eat Frosted Flakes as much as I used to. But every once in a while, I'll get a hankering for at breakfast for some Frosted Flakes because it's a childhood thing. It's a comfort thing during childhood. It brings you back, sitting back. And I want to see what people do. Do they put the milk in first, or they put the Frosted Flakes in, or they put the cereal in first? I do cereal, then milk. So I don't know. Frosted Flakes were just my cereal growing up. And they're still my cereal. You go-to cereal if I'm hungry, if I'm looking for a snack, or if I'm looking for a quick breakfast. If I miss out before I sign in for work on breakfast and I need something quick before I sign in for the day, Frosted Flakes are it. Get some Frosted Flakes, pour them in a little bowl, get some milk in there, boom, you're done. So Frosted Flakes, just above coffee cake in the points. It's Frosted Flakes. Again, it's a kid thing. It brings out the kid in me. And of course, there's Tony the Tiger. So anytime you have a cartoon character as your mascot, of course, kids are going to go see that and go for it because they see it in the cartoons and they think, oh, it's Tony the Tiger. Mom, can I have some Frosted Flakes, please? Of course, you're going to get the Frosted Flakes. All right, so coffee cake is 5, Frosted Flakes 4. Number 3, eggs. You know why eggs? Because they're versatile. You can make them in so many ways. You can make them as an omelet. You can make them as scrambled eggs. You can make them over easy, medium over hard, medium over medium, poach them, boil them, hard boiled, soft boiled. They're so versatile. Eggs is ridiculously versatile, and they're super good for you too. So one egg is a bunch of protein with it. So I try to do during my day is that I try to get up a little early, and I've got an Instant Pot, and you put hard boiled eggs in there for 7 minutes, get them boiled, let them rest for 7 minutes, put them in a bowl to cool them down, peel them, eat them. It's simple as that. Scrambled eggs are super easy to make. Anybody can make an omelet. I mean, you have to be awful at cooking to not make an omelet. And I know some of you out there going, I'm pretty bad at cooking. Yeah, but I mean, go to YouTube and look at a Gordon Ramsay video on how to make scrambled eggs, and they come out perfect every time. They're fluffy and they're delicious. And eggs, super versatile, super easy to make. If you ruin eggs, you ruin a day. Let's just put it that way. And you can put them in a sandwich. You can put them in a hard roll. You can put them in a croissant. So versatile, but they're my number 3 pick because why the heck not? Number 2, Link sausage. Link sausage is my number 2 in the power rankings because Link sausage is again, it's one of those. It's good. It's sausage. It's meat. It's more protein for the day. And I remember, and again, this is coming back to a childhood thing. My dad and I would, every once in a while, on a Saturday, my dad would get us kids in the car with our mom, and we'd drive to a diner in New Jersey. Usually, it's the Princess or the Queen or the Pumpkin Queen or the Pumpkin Princess, which I guess now is the Monarch Diner. On Route 23, but I get away from myself. So these restaurants, all owned by the same families, they get these Link sausages, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?" And my dad says, "I'd have French toast, or I'd have pancakes," and my dad would usually get a breakfast with eggs, sausage, and bacon, or toast. And I go, "What's that?" He goes, "It's sausage." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Can I have some?" "Sure." And of course, begin the love affair with Link sausage. Phrasing, I know. But Link sausage is always going to be a go-to when I go to a diner somewhere. If I'm off at a diner, somebody owns a mini diner, you'll have everything. And again, some of these places will serve breakfast all day. It's not like a Denny's or an IHOP. It's really good food, and Link sausage, it's going to be there. And my number 1 breakfast food in the power rankings, for the breakfast food power rankings, bacon. actual bacon, not Canadian bacon, because Canadian bacon is just ham. Anyway, bacon, it's always going to be a number one. And of course, with the theme of the Breakfast Club, yeah, bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon, unless you're a vegan. But you can't go wrong with bacon as the number one, in the number one in the breakfast food power rankings. Again, this is my personal power rankings. You can do whatever you want. You can take stuff out. You can add pancakes or French toast or even a breakfast braid. It's up to you. But my number one in the power rankings is bacon, because you can't have. Listen, I got the rest of my breakfast waiting for me after this podcast is done. So, a couple slices of bacon with my breakfast, and it just makes me happy. I'm a happy dude overall, but bacon just makes everything happier. All right, so those are my top 5. I got a comment from one of the founders of BellyUpSports.com, Mike Brown. Mike Brown, shout out to you, bud. Love me from some breakfast, of course. Of course. Who doesn't love breakfast? I mean, come on. Bacon and eggs, cereal, coffee cake. Honorable mention, French toast, pancakes, crepes. Crepes are awesome. Oh, we got another comment here from Houston. Canadian bacon is a disappointment. Oh, boy. There's going to be some fighting words from our friend up north, Jade. She's going to probably rip you up and down for this one, Houston. But, I mean, it's just a weird thing. I mean, Canadian bacon is versatile it does good on sandwiches. I will say that in a pinch, if you're looking for something to put in your sandwich for an egg sandwich with a biscuit or on a hard roll, Canadian bacon will do. But because it's basically ham. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, there's this. I just want to mention this one thing on the topic of ham. In New Jersey, where I used to live, there's this staple in New Jersey. It's called Taylor. I call it Taylor ham. It's always been Taylor ham for as long as I remember, but look in the package, it says Taylor pork roll. And actually, you know what? I'll look it up so you can see what it looks like. Taylor pork roll. Sorry for the silence here. I'll go ahead and share what it looks like. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Okay. This is what the package looks like. John Taylor's pork roll. And it's just basically a giant slab of meat in a burlap sack. But it's awesome. It's delicious. One of my friends, I went on vacation a couple of years ago, and we talked, and my aunt, who's not really my aunt, but my mom's best friend, we call her my Aunt Robin, brought some Taylor ham or Taylor pork roll with her, because why not? It's breakfast time in New Jersey. You're going to have some Taylor pork roll or Taylor ham. Taylor ham. It's always going to be Taylor ham to me. And my buddy Chris, who says he's from New York, born and raised, says, "What's Taylor ham?" And cooks him up for breakfast, and he says, "Okay, I get it now." So that's Taylor. I mean, that would be an excellent substitute for Canadian bacon. Get yourself some slices of Taylor ham, put it on a roll with a over hard egg, ketchup. It's good eating. Good eating. All right, so that's my personal breakfast food power rankings. Again, you can do however you want to do your power rankings. It's up to you. That's just my deal. All right, let's give a shout out to our partnership with PropMe LLC on Twitter @PropMe. Listen, sports is back. Hockey's back. Baseball's back. Basketball's back. Golf is back. UFC has never left the building. NASCAR. You want to make some money with your friends or peer-to-peer? This is the way to go with PropMe. Use their app, which is the which is the pro game app. It's on both Apple and on Google or Android. And say, for instance, I'll make an example. I'm paraphrasing Mark Riley again. And Mark Riley, shout out to the Riley Report. He put it this way: say you're at your favorite watering hole. You're watching a game at a table. You make a prop bet for, say, the first goal. Who's going to score the first goal or who's going to make the first three in an NBA game for a bubble series game. And some guy sees a guy prop bet may have the same app and makes a bet against it. If you happen to get that bet, you win that prop bet. Yeah, guess what? You got some money in your pocket. It goes right into your account. So use that with PropMe LLC. Again, the pro game app. Make some money off your friends, and it's totally legal because it's peer-to-peer. You're not going to a casino. You're not going to a sports bet. You're just peer-to-peer. It's all with one person. All right, we got one more question from Houston. Any love for breakfast burritos? A little bit of love. I'm not a cheese guy, so I don't really put a lot of cheese on my food except for pizza and prosciutto parmesan. I have a weird thing about cheese, but breakfast burritos will do. Depends on who makes it. If it's Taco Bell, no. If it's McDonald's, no. You gotta go to a really good local diner or deli. I know I got a guy down at the bottom of the hill here, Russell from Russell's Deli. I hope he's watching. We're gonna get a chance to watch or give a shout out to him. He makes an awesome breakfast burrito. It's like a 2-pound burrito. It's gigantic. I've seen these guys from the naval, the NSA, the naval station, pick up these burritos before or after a shift because they're working a long hours, working a 12-hour shift. They're hungry before and after. And look at these big burritos, like the size of a small infant, small newborn. So breakfast burritos, I'll go give them some love. They're not in my top 5 breakfast power rankings, but yeah, they're up there. All right, so let's connect on Facebook. We got a Facebook page, facebook.com, bellyup AFTW. Again, the show is now streaming on Periscope. It's also streaming on YouTube, and it's also streaming on Facebook. So if you go to the Facebook page right now, it's right there. And you can watch it anytime on the replay. So anybody who's watching on the replay, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Twitter and Instagram, both are at BellyUpAFTW, and YouTube, which is AFTW Belly Up. So let's connect. Let's interact. Let's have some fun. And we'll share. I usually share a couple memes once a week. Once or twice a week, I'll do some memes just because it's funny. because sports are that ultimate outlet. You can just meme anything. So it's fun. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you watching along. Thanks for coming by. And a special Breakfast Club edition of A Round for the Weekend, as always, powered by Belly Up Sports. So cheers, and we'll see you hopefully at the regular time next Friday. If not, I'll probably I'll do another Breakfast Club. We'll see what happens. So cheers to you. Here's to the weekend. Have some coffee, go outside, get some exercise. And if you're going somewhere, we have to go indoors, wear your mask, and wash your hands, because apparently you have to tell people that now. So thanks again for watching. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. So cheers.